Hi there, welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking road trips. I get asked loads of questions about going on US road trips, about planning them, finding accommodation, all that kind of thing. So we thought we'd have a chat to you today. We're actually about to start planning our California road trip. We're doing the Pacific Coast Highway, but what we're about to talk about will kind of apply to any kind of road trip. We've done a few in the States now, and it's something that we really enjoy doing, and we really enjoy the planning side. I do have a planner here that I set up for our trips. I do this every single time, and I'll link up the video below so that you can see how I set this up, as this is what I will be using today. I have a road trip section which I will be going to. We're going to start at where we're staying and where we're going to be starting our road trip from. Here on the table we've got a couple of monitors set up. We've also got our phones as well to use, just so we can have a look at reviews and go sort of like look at different things, photos and all that kind of thing, and I will explain more about that as we start our planning. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you find it helpful. Please follow if this kind of thing interests you. Please subscribe, and I hope you enjoy today. Thank you. So Google Maps is our best friend when we're planning a road trip. We are partway through and we're planning here. We have a whale watching trip in Monterey, and then we're going to be working our way down to where we're staying overnight. There's lots and lots of little stops on the way. So what I've done is I've programmed in the parking lot, the actual parking lot where we've planned to park, and our next stop, which is 30 minutes away. And then what we do is we zoom in close and have a look at the route. We do need to plan somewhere for lunch, so we will do that another time. Just have a little look, read reviews and that kind of thing. We usually come up with a few different options, just obviously we may not fancy what we choose on the day. And then we follow the route down to where we are planning to visit next. Something that we find really important for us on a road trip is having a suitable sized car. Sometimes it's quite easy just to go with a cheaper option and think that will do. I did that on my very first trip. I was only 21, went on a road trip, and we had the tiniest of cars, and I've really learned from that since then. Now obviously I've got a family as well, so it's a little bit different. We have a lot of luggage, but we always go for a Tahoe size. It is a very large car, but what we like about it, we've got so much space. We can throw in all the luggage. We don't have to worry about not having enough space. We feel safe on the road, but also the back is all blacked out. So like for this example, we're going on a trip, we've got all our luggage in the car. It's not ideal leaving the luggage in the car. We will make sure we've got all the valuables on us. We take any iPads, money, passports, all of that kind of thing will always be on us. We will never leave it in the car, but the suitcases will all be in a blacked out space. So fingers crossed, it's the safest option that we can do. We also feel that the kids need space as well. They're in the car for a long time. We need them to feel comfortable and also not on top of each other as well. And in previous trips we've had Holly revising for mock exams, and she's had so much space in the back of the car. They can lay their legs out, they can watch their devices, and it just makes it so much more enjoyable for everyone. Another tip, always make sure you've got lots of snacks and water in the car as well.
And sleeping tablets for the kids. Makes it more enjoyable.
No sleeping tablets for the kids. Something else that we really enjoy doing for the road trips is we have a playlist every single time. We have a list of music that's in the car. We used to put CDs together now, or previously, which we don't now because obviously it's all, what do you call it, not online. It is in the cloud, isn't it? Bluetooth, yeah. Bluetooth, but we have a list of tracks, and it's so nice. I feel like you needed to be in this one as well.
Thank you.
But what we do is then listening to them then after you've been on the trip. It just reminds you of the trip so much more. Like now, for example, if you hear squirrels in their pants, what do you think of?
Well, Florida.
Yeah, Florida. Which year?
2010.
Yes. There's just so many songs.
There are a lot of songs.
Yeah,
and I think
it
there are
just
particular
takes
ones about particular years. So
yeah, it just
we won't mention last year's one.
No, there was.
But it was really good. Especially, I remember driving through Georgia, and we were listening to it, and it was
really loud.
really good.
But it takes you straight back to a trip. Something else we did, we're going to do a separate video on going on trips with teenagers. We let Louis be in control of the music last year. He's really into his music.
Yeah.
It was good.
No, that was very good.
But it kept him busy.
It kept him busy, but he didn't actually create a lot of playlists. So
he didn't. He just kept putting music on.
Which is fine.
But it was really. But he's got a really varied music. He loves 70s, 80s. He loves Disney. He loves modern music. He has a really, for a 17-year-old, he's got such a wide taste in music. It kept him busy in the car, and
better than Holly's taste in music.
It was just, no, I think it worked really well.
No, it was good.
Yeah, but no, I think that's a really good tip for doing a road trip. Something that I also recommend on Google Maps, you can save things so that they come up highlighted. So I've got stars of places that we are going to, and then hearts of places that would be nice to stop off. So points of interest, bridges, places to stop and take photos. I've done that all along the route as well. And it just makes life a lot easier. Just in case you haven't done it before, I'll just show you an example. I've typed in McDonald's, which has come up there. And then I've clicked on McDonald's on the map, and I'll press the save. And then you can choose whether you want to do like a favorite, want to go, or start a place. We've said actually it would be quite handy just in case we arrive, need the loo, need a drink, something like that.
Need a burger?
No. Not before you go whale watching, you're not. It's just handy to mark off on the map. Something else that's really important, we have lots of fuel stops. I know that they'll all show on Google Maps, but we like to be prepared. So like here, for example, we can have a good look at the junction to make sure it's easy to come off and back on again. And here we've got petrol station, we've also got Starbucks and various other food places as well, which are really handy. So I've made a note of that in the book. It's about a 13-minute drive from the whale watching, and we've got petrol, I've got the address, and I've also got that there's Starbucks, another petrol station, and there's a Safeway if we need anything like water, snacks or anything like that, just in case we haven't been able to get any in the center of San Francisco. Another good thing about using Google Maps, you can actually click, you have like little photo signs there, you click on them and a little photo comes up, and you have more details then about where it is, and you can just read a little bit about the place as well. It's quite handy to know whether or not you want to stop off. By doing this over the years with different road trips, we've actually found some really nice places to stop off that we never knew existed, just simply by clicking on the icons on Google Maps and finding them. Something else when you're on the road trip, noticing lots of places where you can pull off and stop. Here on the road you can just see there. There's quite a few places where you can pull off, which is quite nice, obviously for like picture taking, but also if you do need to stop, if one of the kids needs a rest or to get out, have a bit of fresh air, that kind of thing. Something else that we like to do to check out the road, you can
street view. The
street view. You can drag this little yellow person onto the street and take him over near the bridge, please.
Is that there?
A little bit closer.
We can always go up a bit, can't we?
That's it. And then you can have a good look at the road that you're going to be travelling on. So we're actually going to be doing like a coastal drive here, so you can have a good look, see how many lanes there are, how close you are to the edge. We used this a lot when we were planning a mountain road trip one year. It was Easter time, and obviously we weren't sure what the roads were going to be like, and we wanted to see if they were decent roads, if they were sort of sturdy roads. And it just put our mind at rest that they were actually heavy duty roads and they weren't like little roads. We were just worried if there was a bit of frost. Here we just wanted to have a look. It's a really beautiful bridge, the Bixby Bridge. We wanted just to have a look at the parking spaces just to see. We really want to get out here and take some photos. There is a couple of lay-bys to be able to get out and park. So we're just going to have a quick look and see what the parking situation's like, how many spaces there are. And also if we can't park, if there's anywhere else to pull over. So here, like, we can see there's a few spaces, and we've seen some other little lay-bys just off the road as well, but we know not to go over the bridge really, but just to try and pull over. There's some on the other side there as well, actually. So fingers crossed we'll be able to, yeah, we might be able to pull over there as well if the spaces are taken. We will hopefully,
this is the way we're going.
Yeah, be able to take some photographs.
So I'll check down this road here.
Just seen a restaurant we quite like the look of. There's also fuel there, so We're just opening it up on this other screen just to have a look. Have a look at the restaurant, have a look at the menu, and see if it's worth a visit. Something else that we found with doing the US road trips, there's really, really good rest stops. We love the welcome stops. When you drive into a new state, they have welcome stops, and they're just not like anything that we have in this country. They're not like your service stations, because most of them, there's no petrol. You can't generally buy anything to eat unless it's from a vending machine, but they're just really nice to walk into. Spotless, toilets are spotless, loads of leaflets to give out, just lots of information, aren't there? Maps, local maps, touristy things. There's quite often an information desk with somebody sat there. The one as we entered
Florida.
I was going to say Tennessee first, actually.
Oh, okay.
There's like a cardboard cutout of Dolly Parton, and there's all the rocking chairs, wasn't there? Do you remember? And the one in Georgia we had, and I will insert a few photos actually. The one in Georgia, there was Rick Grimes and Daryl from Walking Dead, cardboard cutouts, not the real actors. What else is there?
Going into Florida and Jacksonville, wasn't it?
Yeah, in Florida.
They actually had grapefruit juice.
And orange juice giving out.
Local.
But they have like great big signs which say like welcome to Florida and things like that, and you can stand and have your photo taken, but they're spotlessly clean, really easy to park, and just a great place just to get out, stretch your legs, go to the loo. And we really, really get excited about the welcome centres. But they also have a lot of rest stops as well. So even like when you're in the state and you're driving along, the same kind of place, get out, pick up a local map, touristy leaflets, go to the loo. And they've always been absolutely spotless, and they feel really safe, and they're open 24/7.
And there's lots of them.
Lots of them. Also things like there's little trails for you to walk your dog, picnic benches, free poo bags as well for your dog.
Place to barbecue.
Yeah, places to barbecue. It's just, they're generally beautiful as well. Lovely trees, flowers, just really, really nicely kept, and everything's free. You don't have to pay to use the facilities at all. So we really like finding those little rest stops. With regards to needing to eat, get fuel for your car, hotels, all that kind of thing, when you see the signs on the roads, they're all grouped together, so you'll have like one mass for food places, and you will have loads of like your Cracker Barrel, your IHOPs, your Denny's, all the usual kind of chains. They're all grouped together. And all the signs will be together, any food stops. Then you'll have, it might be just a few meters along, you'll have all the hotel stops, and you'll have like your Holiday Inns and your do you know what I mean? Again, all your chains, they will all be grouped together as well. And then you'll also have fuel, yeah, all your fuel stops, your Starbucks, but they all show the signs on the side of the road, so they're really, really easy to see. That's obviously for the main big roads. The roads that we're doing at the moment, this small highway 1, we're not seeing anything like that. It is very much your little general stores, your tiny, there are like Shell garages, but it's literally just one little pump, and it's like a little wooden hut over the top of it. So this type of road is completely different. But on your main big roads, you will see more of that kind of signage. Before I finish this video, I wanted to touch on, somebody's asked me about how do we choose the hotels that we stay in on our road trips. For us, location is always key, and that's when Google Maps comes in, just really seeing where you are staying, or where the area that you're wanting to stay in. We like to zoom right into Google Maps, have a look at the area. We were looking at one in Hollywood, this house in Hollywood. The photos look beautiful, but when we looked around, we were right by like a drive over, like, what do you call it, a flyover, don't you? Yeah. Cars, and it just isn't very pretty, and not the kind of area that we'd want to be walking around. We always want to be in an area where we feel safe. When we chose our hotel in New York, that was one of the main things. The location was right in by Times Square, but it was off a road that was clean. There was like a little fountain on the side, little like chairs where you could sit out. It was really, really pretty, whereas some of the other roads, you just wouldn't want to walk down them at night. And this, we would have even let our teenagers walk around. It felt safe, didn't it?
Yeah, I think, and it's convenient. So we've got somewhere to eat, somewhere to sleep, and it's there. We're just stopping. We don't want to arrive after a long drive and then have to drive another hour to go and find somewhere to eat. The
place that we're staying in also offers free breakfast as well, so that's another bonus.
Just not always necessarily all about price, is it? It's
convenience. Yeah, like for us,
that can save us a lot in the long run.
Like when we were in Savannah, when we were in DC, when we're in New York, we've always stayed places where we do not need to use the car when we're there. That makes life a lot easier as well, just being able to walk everywhere. And it's also finding things, again, using Google Maps. We love a coffee in the morning, so we want to be near somewhere where we can walk and get a coffee. Choosing our hotel in DC, we had a Starbucks in the lobby. Savannah, we had a local coffee shop that was literally less than a 5-minute walk. To us, that really means a lot, doesn't it? We like that kind of thing.
I know some people like to maybe go further afield, it's cheaper, but then hearing some people's stories, I think New York in one particular, heard about this last week, is the fact they had to get on the subway, and it seemed to be like quite a trek to get to, for example, Times Square. Whereas for us, less than 5 minutes, we were there.
Well, we were walking, weren't we?
And we were walking as well. So it's a case of, for us, it could have been more expensive, or was more expensive where we stayed. But for us, we were able to spend more time, more quality time, actually doing what we want to do, rather than travelling to and from somewhere just to get to where we need to.
I think it's also working out what's important for your family as well. As much as we would love to stay, we like staying in like really like modern, clean looking places. When I say clean, I mean like sort of like your contemporary type of look. For us, space is important as well. With having 2 teenagers, it's really important that we all have our space, and we do compromise on the type of hotel that we stay in. Sometime in San Francisco, for example, we've actually changed our booking and we found somewhere that's better location. We don't need to use the car within San Francisco. It's free parking, but also the children have their own room. We've got a room for us and then another room off of ours, and they've both got a double bed each, and that to us was more important. But the hotel looks like it's stepped out of the 70s. It needs a serious update, but it's very clean and gets amazing reviews. And that was also the same in New York, wasn't it? We actually had an apartment.
Radio City
apartments. And again, it looked like it was from, I don't know, the 50s. It was like a 50s throwback, but it was
Art
Deco actually, but
really
like
nice.
The decor really did need it needed painting in the rooms, didn't it?
But saying me painting, it wasn't untidy.
It just wasn't to our taste. No, it wasn't messy.
Paint wasn't off the walls.
No, that's true.
It was
a different era.
You step back.
Yeah, there was a kitchenette, we had a dining table, we had a lounge area, the kids had their own TV, we had another bedroom. To be like that in the middle of Times Square, and I think we paid something like $500 and something for 2 nights, and I ended up adding on an extra night, didn't I? But to be that location, but we all had our space, and that to us as a family is really, really important. So that all goes into how we choose where we stay. One other thing as well, which is really important, is somewhere for the car. When we've got the car with us, we want to make sure it's safe and that we can park it easily. If we've got a driveway, brilliant. Read the reviews though. Many of them, like when we were looking for accommodation in Hollywood, it would say that it would only fit a compact car, and that you'd have to pay, if you had a larger vehicle, you'd have to pay off-site somewhere for like 24-hour parking.
And don't always assume, if you even have gone to the lengths of looking at Google Maps, that there seems to be loads of space on the road. Don't assume that you can actually park there. There are often restrictions in certain places. Savannah, we could park, but then one day a week, whether it's down to street cleaning or garbage collection or rubbish collection,
street cleaning,
you're not allowed to park between the hours of such and such, which means you couldn't stay there. So just be aware, don't just assume that you can park there. Always ask these questions up front. And
read the reviews as well. We were really lucky with Savannah. We had looked at some accommodation and people said they'd got an Uber, but parking would be difficult. The house that we chose, the reviews were brilliant. There wasn't a driveway, but they said off-street parking was really easy, and everyone in the reviews said they didn't have a problem. And sure enough, we pulled up at night, parked outside. The street cleaning was on a different day to when we were there, and we just left our car in that space outside the house the whole time. So that was really, really easy. But we do always read reviews for any type of accommodation and check on Google Maps as well to just have a look at the general area and see where it is exactly. So just before I finish this video, I'm just going to show you what I've been doing. I like to use different codes. So the pinks are the ones we're stopping off. My aqua ones are just kind of advisory ones, so there is somewhere to stop if we wanted. The purple ones here, they're just places just to be aware of. They're really pretty bridges here. There's a really cute little general store we found. anything that's of interest will be in those boxes. And again, pink is where we will definitely be stopping. The bridge looks amazing. We can't wait to get out and take photos. Doing the Google Maps thing, we found somewhere for lunch that we absolutely love, and something that for everyone in the family and for each one. So from here, it's 20 minutes drive to the next one, 14 minutes and obviously 11 miles to the next one. We found a bakery that we quite like if we wanted to grab some bits for the evening. And then we're just going on and marking everything off. And I also include the zip code, and I will enter all of those into the sat nav when we're done. So that is how we plan our big US road trips. I really hope that you found it helpful. Any questions, please do ask. I will link up below just showing you how I put my planners together and how I make all the sections. It makes life so much easier when we're on our road trips. But please let me know if you have any questions, and let me know, have you ever been on a big road trip? Have you ever planned one? And are you planning one yourself? Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe if you are new. Please do share this video if you have a friend or family member that you think will enjoy it as well. And you can also find me or us on Instagram. I'm the Funky Fairy, and I'll leave the link below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye.